We are in the domestic airport, heading to our last destination of Vietnam. We got a flight an hour earlier. How does that make you feel?
Good. So we can spend an hour extra in Hanoi.
Yeah.
I'm happy about that.
So we've been Ho Chi Minh, Hoi An, and now we're going to Hanoi.
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 Final stop.
Final stop before we go back to England. I don't know, is it less warm than here? Because did you hit the 30s this summer?
Yeah.
Like last summer?
Yeah, it's 30 now.
So it might be kind of similar weather. We'll see. But you know, an hour earlier flight. Not gonna complain. Because we were early in the airport, because we would rather be early than late. We don't want to stress.
Yeah, that's never happened to me before. I feel like it was something that would only happen in like different countries. I couldn't imagine EasyJet doing that for us. Like, oh, yeah, there's an earlier flight, you want to get on that.
I mean, maybe if there were available seats.
Maybe, yeah.
But maybe they would ask you to pay.
These flights are so frequent that almost every hour they go to Hanoi.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Probably that. But EasyJet is not as frequent.
And now we're on the plane to Hanoi.
It was a very pleasant flight. I don't think it was that long either.
Being recorded while sleeping without my consent.
And I'm half asleep, but we're almost landed here. Look at that view. Again with, I believe it's Grab. Grab is just solid. When in Vietnam, you gotta get that Grab. And as you can see, we're back in that very Vietnamese traffic.
I always feel this bit reminded me of Hoi An. There's lanterns, the yellow buildings.
Go then.
So we dropped our stuff at the hotel. They gave us a map and of places to eat and see. And it was actually a good map. I'll put the name of the hotel up here.
Yeah, and the first place I think they suggested a place to us that we already had in our itinerary. So at the moment we're on our way to a night market that's kind of close by. And we're strolling around, kind of getting familiar with our surroundings, which is always the first thing we personally do on holidays. Even when we go from different destinations in the same country, the first thing we do is like, let's just stroll around, see what's around our area. And as you can see, we're very familiar with walking in Vietnam now.
There's the Circle K.
I remember this Circle K is quite close to our hotel, and I met another British lady who got really upset because the Vietnamese staff couldn't understand her properly. And I said, well, what did you expect? I said, oh, but I'm speaking English, I'm speaking slowly. It's like, that doesn't help all the time.
You also had a very funny experience here on one of our last days, but we might save that for another video. But yeah, this Circle K was really good. It was like 2 minutes away from our hotel, so we went there like all the time for snacks, for drinks, for everything.
Alex almost died.
I really don't know why you're saying that. Maybe I tripped when you said oop earlier.
No, I think a car came right next to you. Or a moped. I would say the street, this is like a Sunday night. I would say the streets aren't as busy as Ho Chi Minh. Of course the street markets were, night markets were. I remember watching this back and I didn't realize I was this big compared to the Vietnamese.
He's just a very tall guy.
So this is one of the places that the hotel recommended us. It was like fried bread, and you get like a milk dip with it, I think. We just got the fried bread. It was fine. It was quite nice actually.
There's so much tea here.
Would you say the air was clean in Ho Chi Minh or Hoi An or Hanoi?
Well, I feel like watching these clips back, both you and I are wearing masks almost all the time
Probably all from China.
in this area, so I think Hoi An. We're in Hanoi now, aren't we? I would say Hoi An had the cleaner air because that was one of the few places we didn't wear the mask as often compared to Ho Chi Minh and here.
I would say Ho Chi Minh had a more rougher air quality. I think we were in a mask here because we didn't have masks in the first few days of Ho Chi Minh, and I think after a while the air started getting to us, so we just started to wear masks. Personally, I think that's what I was doing. I think though it had the cleaner air.
Everywhere.
But I would say when you go to Vietnam, it is a good shout to get those. It's filter masks, and they basically filter out the smog from the cars and the mopeds.
I really like these markets because they had like all these lanterns and things hanging. Their markets were a lot more vibrant compared to the other places. But
It goes in quite a bit. Night market.
also, please don't bargain. If you're from a Western country, don't bargain for a few thousand dong. It's just so embarrassing and you're not really saving that much. And this is where everyone hangs out most of the time. Like, loads of modern restaurants, the puppet theatre is here, which we'll see in the next video. Yeah, and then the Highland Coffee, which we've been to.
And we miss it dearly. Also, on these streets, you would see street performers quite often. So it's like very, very lively here. Think about like if you're in London, it's basically your central area. It's your Oxford Circus, more or less.
I think you mean Covent Garden.
That as well. Just think of a busy area with a lot of street performances, yeah.
I'll say though Hanoi had the most international people, like definitely people from Australia, UK, other European countries, more so than Ho Chi Minh and Hoi An. I think Hoi An had a lot of foreigners from like China, Japan. I also think because there was a lot of water around Hoi An, it felt a bit fresher than the other two cities.
Oh yeah, I remember we kept buying the 2-liter waters here because they're so easy to come by.
But speeding up the music here, this is a band that they will play later in the video, but they're prepping up. And I just had to cut out the sound just for copyright.
We want to be as safe as we can. But yeah, these guys were amazing. You'll see later. I thought they were good. Cheshire was side-eyeing me just now.
But yeah, I would say there's a lot more tourist stuff in Hanoi. So which is why I still like Ho Chi Minh. Ho Chi Minh felt more, not as touristy as Hanoi. Maybe the others would disagree with me. Hoi An felt touristy, but like there was purpose to touristy. This one just felt very commercial, very much standard. Every shop felt the same. Every restaurant had the same menu.
But I would say definitely visit. Definitely visit. It's a very nice area and a very nice place. There are lots of things to see. I think we spent, was it 4 days or something? And as you can see, there's so many street performances just everywhere.
I didn't understand why people didn't stop to watch these guys. I don't know what was on their sign. Maybe that's what deterred people stopping by, but they were really good.
And they even have stools to sit on.
Yeah, those stools were really small for me, so I just stood.
I think the stools are like, you know that air quotes Asian squat.
I guess we're in the old quarter.
You know that air quotes Asian squat. The stools are on that height. You just kind of support your bum.
Like these ones.
Yeah, and also they're not as tall. They're not. I'm taller than them, and I'm only 5'4".
So yeah, we are in the old quarters now. Sorry, and the one before is not new quarters, it's French quarters.
Yeah, I really would say with Hanoi, just enjoy the street performances. There's so many of them, and they're really, really good. And they're just really good.
So here we have our street performers. Again, not many people stopping by to watch them, and they were really good in my opinion.
And they had multiple performances as well. It's like a little group of some sort.
Với tác phẩm
You know, I feel like with all of this going on, this feels like a kind of city where you just want to walk around all the time. You're always like, I don't know if I want to go home. I just want to walk around and see what's here. I want to see the next street performance. I want to hang out with the people. It's nice and warm. What do you think?
Yeah, I would love to live in Vietnam, but Alice doesn't want to live in Vietnam.
It's far away and expensive to go to for our families. I would go back for traveling, definitely. I feel like Vietnam is a very underrated travel destination, to be honest. Like, not many people talk about it, but it's like a really lovely place.
I think that's a good thing. I don't want it to turn into Thailand. Apparently Thailand's become really commercial and just clubbing now and partying.
Which one would you say is more underrated as a tourist or a travel destination? Would you say Vietnam or Taiwan?
Taiwan. How about you?
Yeah, I do feel like there were fewer tourists in Taiwan, which is also a very, very lovely place. Very lovely. We went to this place because we wanted to see it, but I think it was closed in the night, and you could see, I believe, some kind of lover's bridge from here that you'll see later. But I think the temple itself was closed and we came back another day when it was open, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Like, I think it closed at 8 or something, 7 or 8 p.m. obviously.
And that is the Lovers Bridge. I believe that's the Lovers Bridge.
I feel like a lot of places have like some sort of lover's bridge. There was a lover's bridge in Da Nang as well.
Me sitting like an old guy. Ah, here's the performance. That lady in orange isn't part of the performance. She just walked into the shop and danced.
She's vibing.
And she took the drummer's drumsticks.
really think they're good though. I feel upset that I don't know what their band name is.
So the next day, and we are on our way to the famous, I guess it's famous, I don't know why I said infamous, Train Street.
Yeah, because before we went, we saw a bunch of TikToks about where to go. We looked up on Instagram, we looked up on TripAdvisor, Reddit. Everyone said go to the old street or to this old train station, train tracks. And they had these videos that you're supposed to be able to like walk out there. There's places to eat, but I think they closed them off because tourists took up all the space and didn't really move out of the way when they needed to. Because when we went, it was all like there was basically a barrier and a sign that you weren't allowed to go on the tracks.
I think we're in French Quarter still, so a lot of like French-inspired buildings and cafes.
Which makes sense in a way, because I do believe Vietnam was invaded by the French at some point, which we'll see the ramifications of that later in the museum we went to. I'm talking about the Hilton Prison Hotel thing. Hilton Prison thing. We kind of found Train Street. Different entrances, but there are signs that you should not enter.
Yeah, there's no one in there, so we were so confused. And I looked online saying they closed it because there's too many tourists. But then I see people going to Vietnam after we have online and a few friends, and they were able to go and see the train drive past next to a cafe. Oh well.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they just went in then. This cathedral is so pretty in person. Like, it looks all gray it is all gray on the outside, but when you come, there's so many details on it that just you can't really justify on the camera. We mostly walked around on the outside, and then we went to Hoa Lo Prison Relic, which is also called like Hilton Prison something on maps sometimes, which was a prison facility built by the French when they came and basically invaded Vietnam at some point. So these buildings are full of like the history of how they treated the Vietnamese prisoners that they imprisoned. And they have all this eerie sounds and music as you walk around. It just makes you feel like really claustrophobic in a way.
Yeah, this was the hardest room. This is where prisoners had to just sit here for like hours and hours in this position, where one leg is stuck between like a shackle, but wooden shackle. And it was very uncomfortable. We read, they just sat like this. And I don't know how. I forgot what they did it for the bathroom. But like, imagine sitting like in the 90s, like that, 90s, you can't even lay down because it's so small. So you just sit like that for hours and hours, like your tailbone will just be in so much pain.
And they had like this specific room for women prisoners where children would also be in there. You can see these women are just kind of sitting here. We don't know if there are other sinister things that would have happened to these women. And then they had these chambers, as you can see, for prisoners on death row. that were just like super tiny. Think solitary confinement, basically.
Yeah, the music really adds to it.
Yeah, they had like this quite harrowing music. Very like, not sinister, but like just, yeah, it was really like cold sounding music. It wasn't nice.
Very narrow hallways. Very tiny prisons.
This guy escaped.
Who escaped?
Person in this prison cell escaped.
This one.
This one's
Oh,
Oh, he died.
fine.
This one escaped.
This one escaped.
Fan escaped. What is varnished? Oh, right.
And as you can see with these life-size mannequins, it's how narrow the hallways are. There's like no space in the prisons, there's no space in the hallways. There's just no space anywhere. And then when you come outside, I believe this is a memorial for people who lost their lives in here, if I'm not mistaken. And so they have this more like kind of hopeful, calm music compared to inside where it's more like industrial sounding, I would say.
And now we're at, as I said, the Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum. And we were unlucky, you was here in the video, that the museum was closed. The mausoleum you can't visit, I don't think. It's where he's buried. But it's a really nice area, it's really well kept.
Yeah, and it's really big on the outside. Like you can walk around. It's like a really big park. Then there's the museum and the mausoleum itself. As Cheshire mentioned, the mausoleum is closed off, but the museum is like I believe we went another day to look inside the museum, and it has all this like history of Ho Chi Minh. I would say in general, parks, museums, pagodas are really well kept in Vietnam. What do you think?
Yeah, they do put a lot of effort and care and attention to those. I think it just makes sense because it's a place where the most of them gather, especially in the pagodas. So yeah, it's really well kept and not like deteriorating or anything like that. I have no idea what fruit this was.
I don't know. I'm wondering if whoever recorded it because that man was standing in front of the building we wanted to record, and we were trying to pass time. I could see us doing something like that.
That sounds familiar. Yeah, it is the mausoleum. I really like the building and like the area, which is so like well kept and clean and massive. There are guards there who tell you like not to come a bit too close. But they weren't friendly. They weren't like mean or like yelling at you. They would just say like, "Oh no, move a bit away." But you see the signs anyway. You should just respect the signs, and they won't say anything.
Yeah, and I think in some areas they also have like barriers how close you can go to take pictures. Another grab for another area we're going to because we couldn't get into the museum. And we went to get some food. I guess I'm happy because I was hungry, and that's why I'm cackling and being weird. But yeah, but we went to a mall to get some lunch.
Yeah, this was a Japanese fried chicken place with Chick Smacks. I think it's Japanese. It was fine. Really juicy, actually. I was a bit nervous if it was cooked or not. My sauce was okay. I didn't like Alice's sauce. I remember it being a bit too strong. I think it was a Béarnaise sauce. It was fine. I really like Alice's burger, which will come up soon.
I don't remember much about this place, I'm gonna be very honest.
That's what I'm saying.
or Mr. B for Nom Nom Eat.
Oh, you wanted to do something for Num Num Eat there? I like how we remembered that we wanted to record our food slowly to talk about the food. It's not our lucky day. We wanted to see the train tracks. They were closed. We saw the mausoleum, but then the mausoleum museum was closed on Mondays. And then we wanted to see the oldest temple in Vietnam, and it's under construction. Today is not a lucky day. I mean, we got to see a few things, but it's not a lucky day. It is what it is, you know, sometimes things happen. It's a funny day. It's very warm, it's very humid. It's most likely just rained, because yeah, it's humid hot. It looks like we can still go inside, so I think we're still gonna go inside and see what we can. Which ended up being quite a lot. Despite the construction, there were so many little areas and nooks and crannies you could go into. So I would say even though those main temples were under construction, it wasn't too upsetting in the end. Like, look at this, it's so beautiful, just that yellow color, so vibrant. What did you think of it?
Good.
One sentence answers, I see how it is.
I just remember this being really hot because it's like the middle of the day.
I do also think this was one of the more humid days, because we had some days in Vietnam where we did get a lot of rain. And you can see those clouds.
So I think this is a shrine next to the pagoda that you can go in. And this is like the bridge or like a fence but made of rock. They had really nice tiles, so we wanted to record that. Like each tile had its own design, which was cool.
And again, with how clean everything is, you can just tell they put so much care into this to like maintain it. It's actually surprising how large their pagodas and temples are. It's like you see them from outside and you think, oh, that's gonna be like a little stroll. It's gonna take you like maybe 5 minutes, and you walk around in there and 20 minutes go by and you're like, wow, there's still stuff to see. And for most of them, you really can't tell on the outside how big they actually are. For some you can, like this one, you can tell from the outside how big it is.
So we went to this place called the Temple of Literature. Again, very big. A lot of cool stuff, a lot of cool buildings, a lot of history as well. and it's a temple that's dedicated to Confucius, so it is a place of worship. Yeah, I didn't really notice much Confucius stuff in Vietnam compared to future videos you've seen Hong Kong and Taiwan. This one is, and that's why there's the whole drum and bell statues of, yeah, that you will see later in the video.
Bless you. That was like a stranger. Why are you shaking your head at me? Again with like the carvings in the stone. I think it's so interesting how much carvings there just is in the stone. It's either 3D or carved into the stone. And then just this whole little square with all these little buildings, the lake, or whatever you would call that. It's just very nice.
Yeah, this area had a lot of little bonsai trees around. Well, they're not little, they're actually quite big compared to like regular trees. And then it had little ornaments on the trees as well.
Yeah, it's almost like every bonsai tree was a little island kind of thing. Like they had arranged them to look like different temples. I don't know if it's different temples in Vietnam or just like a temple-like building, but it's almost like, oh, we're gonna have that bonsai tree here, and then we're gonna have miniature temples around. It was really cool. And there was like a little mini museum inside this temple as well. It was mostly like lights like this. I think it was like a little, museum of sorts. Calming music, soothing music. Everyone wanted to take a picture under that spinning light up there. And I guess maybe it's supposed to represent some kind of transcendence because of the clouds and everything. I feel like when you come in from the outside, you wouldn't expect a museum to really be in here unless you knew there was one. But yeah, it was very popular. It's like outside, almost no one was there, but then you came into this little museum area and everyone was there. And another shrine here.
Oh, Confucius. So the Temple of Literature is supposed to represent education and learning in Vietnamese culture.
Makes sense. I mean, given that it's called the Temple of Literature, it makes sense, yeah.
There were a few photo shoots happening, like people posing and doing some sort of photo shoots around.
Especially up on this area, this balcony area. We wanted pictures up here, but I feel like the balcony area was especially difficult to get pictures on because it had that great view, so everyone wanted pictures up there.
So that's the drum and that's the bell.
We found an aquarium inside a mall. Apparently it's been here for 1 year now. Maybe people were here earlier, but it seems quite empty right now. Maybe people will come later. But yeah, we kind of have the place to ourselves. No one else is here. It's just the two of us. How does that make you feel, Cheshire? That it's just the two of us. Yeah, well, he said no tickets would be sold after 9.
Yeah, that's so late. I mean, not late. Like, it's not like they should have started at 6, so. All these places have and this way, right?
Yeah, it looks like it. Hearing these videos back remind me we should get microphones for our phones.
Sure.
I do like the decorations around the area, like on the pillars and the ceiling, everything. They made so much effort for the decorations. I wasn't a super fan of the tanks because a lot of the tanks didn't really have live plants in them. They just had pictures slapped on and then stones. So it was a bit of a meh experience for me personally.
I liked it. I like aquariums. I think they're trying to do their best to, maintain sea life, which is always good. And it's very difficult to have a replica
You try it.
of the ocean. This is us feeding koi, which was fun.
Yeah, you could buy one of those bottles for, I don't even remember how much it was, 100 or 1,000 dong, something like that. And then you fed them and they just came and, as you can see, just went crazy.
Oh, okay.
They were so strong, it really felt like they were going to rip it out of your hand.
So aggressive.
Which one?
It's a really cool description. The description was like a feather. So yeah, it has no scales or a tail.
Interesting.
I think it was a decent aquarium. They also had a place where you can learn about the aquarium and how to open pearls, which is really cool for young people. So yeah, I don't think it was the worst thing to have in a mall. It was just strange that it was in a mall. But Alice always hates zoos and aquariums.
I actually don't. I just think, I wouldn't say I hated it. I just felt like the plant life inside the aquariums themselves was lackluster.
They are trying. I'm just appreciative that there is an aquarium.
Fair. Was that a dog?
Monkey. Or someone imitated as a monkey.
I really like that dragon statue though, that's sick.
Those fish look like they're just enjoying their damn life. Those sharks were just so chilled.
I like the neon colors in here.
Dragon.
The aquarium has birthday, so the fish has gotten donut decorations. Happy birthday. And they got a little decoration present here, or cake. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, little fish. Oh, these fish have a sea anemone. Then why didn't the other ones? That's strange. Wow, all the way up there as well, fish. And no one can see. Checking out the Sky Park at the Lotte Mall. Because why not? It's only, 6:30 or 7 right now? PM? And it's already the start. I was gonna ask if the aquarium was the one that had that huge viewing glass at the end, but that might have been another aquarium we went to in another country. The Sky Park was sick though. Oh, like a playground park. That's cute.
I could see myself hanging out in this park if I lived in Vietnam. Like quite often. Like go to the mall, get some food, hang out, maybe go see a film. This is a really cool idea.
Alright, that was strange.
Alice got touched by a ghost.
I guess I did. Maybe it followed me home. Oh yeah, they were playing K-pop up here the whole time. So a lot of these clips will be sped up because they're just playing K-pop songs.
Yeah, I think it was just other people hanging out in the park. And yeah, they had these sort of like characters, but in hedge form. I don't know who they are. I don't know if they're like Lotte characters. Maybe they are Lotte characters. But yeah, they were quite cool. I think they were fake though, like not real grass. This one looks kind of creepy though.
Yeah, I tried to make an effort of like trying to film everything. But yeah. I actually really appreciate hedge animals when they're made of real hedges and stuff. Like you said, we don't know if this is real hedge or fake or whatever, but if it's real, it's really very impressive.
Yeah, it's fake. Yeah, this is also a great place, the Lotte West Mall in Hanoi, to look at the whole city.
Yeah, like, you know, in a lot of these cities, you can go to like a sky view thing, you take lifts up and you pay money for it. Here's like, you go to the mall and go to the top of the shopping center and you can just see the city.
For free.
I do feel like more countries should do this concept where there's like a sky park in a mall where you can just kind of hang out.
I wonder if they can do it. In Japan they did it, so I wonder if it's more useful in hot countries. I don't know.
I feel like, you know, when we were in Korea and they had it, there are areas where they have like roofs, like little rooftops that you can hide under if it does rain.
Yeah, this park was also really big actually. So the mall was quite big in general. Lotte Mall, there's an Aeon Mall, and there's a Vincom Mall. The Vincom Mall will go in the next video. And then we got food, and this was terrible.
I don't remember this food at all. It doesn't look familiar.
Yeah, that's how bad it was.
See you next video!